Hey guys, this is Reviews and More, back with a quick tech review. Before we get started, as always, please hit the like and subscribe button if you find this review helpful. It really helps me out with just maintaining the channel. This is on the Magnavox Indoor HD Antenna. Now this is a nice little item. It works just fine. I live in a rural area, so what you're going to see here in just a moment or so is going to be a test in a very rural area. First, we're going to try in the living room. That doesn't work out so well, and then we're going to switch over to another room on different television facing a different side of the house. So the thing screws in like so into the back. You'll see a little thing that says ant in or antenna in, depending on your television. And from there you use your interface. The reason why we purchased this was because we wanted to watch the Super Bowl, and we have cut the cord as a family. So there you see it sitting inside. But we basically only have one utility. That utility is for the cable internet access, and we basically pay for Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon, and we wanted to watch Super Bowl more effectively, and we want to make sure the signal was good and wasn't completely dependent on the internet. So we got this, and we obviously needed to get Fox, so that was the main thing. These tests are both on the second floor of a house, so in a rural area. So we're talking about, in theory, I should be able to get 40 plus channels. We get about 24 at the best rate. This first test is sitting inside the house. The later tests are me taking the antenna, because it comes with a very nice long coaxial cable connector, which is kind of nice. It's got to be close to 10 feet long. And it basically, we had to actually kind of be a little bit redneck with it, and we flung the actual antenna out the window and closed the window because it was cold outside. But this is just running through the basic test and setting things up. Each TV is a little different. Both of my televisions, because we've never done this, actually had to be reset because they just did not want to recognize the antenna being put in. Now, I purchased this at the little grocery store called Lidl, L-I-D-L, for about $10. I think you can find it for a little bit more than that other places. It's a very basic antenna, so I wasn't hoping for gigantic results like a powered outdoor antenna. This is a passive antenna, so there is no power cord to it. It's only connected directly to the actual television. Some have, other ones have boosters on them. This one does not. So it's really a basic indoor digital antenna, and it will get the job done, at least with regards to Fox, at least for the Super Bowl, in the proper room if you're in a more rural area like I am. We're surrounded by trees pretty much, and this is basically passing through brick walls with lots of obviously piping, wiring, everything else in the walls that can block out signal to a certain degree. So it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing, and we were able to watch the Super Bowl uninterrupted, which is kind of nice. So that's the big reason why we bought it. I'm just giving a quick review just to run through how well it works. And the channel around here we're looking for is channel 50 once these things get set up. But with these first tests, what you're seeing is a very low channel count. It should be in the high teens or in the low 20s, best case scenario at my residence. Other places will do better. If we were to attach this thing with an extended cord up to on top of the chimney, it'd be even better than that, obviously, but that's just ridiculous. As far as its quality as an indoor antenna, if you're in a more urban area, or if you're just in a higher populated area, you'll probably have a better result. And you probably see me cycling through these channels. The signal is not great, and we're kind of disappointed. But once we got it hooked up to a different television that was facing a different side of the house, we got more channels out of it. A lot of the channels didn't work on these first tests, but by the time we got finished up, we got channel 50, which was the important one because it was Fox for the Super Bowl, and it was able to do the job. I've used these in more rural areas in North Carolina, and I've used them in more urban areas in North Carolina. You're going to need to make sure you test these first before you try to watch any major sporting event if you're trying to rely on this. I've never used the big old powered antennas, so if you're in a more urban, more densely populated area, you'll have better results. Obviously, if you're in an area not surrounded by trees everywhere, you'll have even better results than I have here. But overall, we're happy with it because we got to watch what we intended to watch, and here you see the slightly better results. It comes in a lot more clear. We actually had the antenna hanging out the window, as I stated earlier, so we're going to see some basically HD quality TV streamed over the air with the digital antenna with this final test. So I guess my overall review is that in a pinch it works, although with any of these things you might want to definitely test beforehand, make sure it works, then throw it back in the box. Our only real use for it is for emergency situations where we might have power but not have internet. Classic things like a hurricane hitting or a major windstorm, snowstorm, that kind of stuff. That might knock the power and the cable internet out, and the power might come back before the internet, so we can have access to things like emergency services and basically notifications whether school's out, that kind of stuff, or in our case, the Super Bowl. So for $10, it's worth it. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely better than having nothing. So for $10, you kind of get what you pay for. I wouldn't sit there and spend $20 on this if I saw it in a store. Certainly not. But for 10, it did its job. It was worth $10 to have the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday. So overall, I'm happy with it. And in just a moment, you'll see Fox kind of come in a lot more clear than it had previously. Sorry for the setup video. I don't mean to include that. So we'll go ahead and speed that up just a little bit. But once we get to Fox, you'll see it's a lot more crisp and clear. It's just some advertisements for some fights that are going to be happening soon. But keep this in mind, we're in a pretty rural area. The entire county is very large and sprawling we live in. And on top of that, there's less than 100,000 people here. The biggest city has 50,000. It's kind of a sprawling city within the county. So overall, it's a good deal for anybody who needs to have either an emergency access to the television if you were to lose power or lose the internet but still have power, or if you're operating off a generator, it can hook up a TV to your hookups for your generator. But for us, it was great. You can see some preaching going on there. But for us, it was great simply because it gave us access to the Super Bowl that we otherwise would not have had. So overall, happy with the service, happy with what it did, and I think that if I could do it again, I'd absolutely do it. So thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you found it helpful, and have a great day.